Hey, welcome back. It's the Sun and Tim Show. And today we are talking NBA basketball, in particular, our Chicago Bulls, where we're going to put a spotlight on a lot of the key players for this Bulls roster.
Awesome. So, guys, first off, obviously, we're going to go like we talked about. We're going to put a spotlight on a lot of the key players. We're going to go from Zach Lavine to Kobe White to Lauri Markkanen to Wendell Carter and to Patrick Williams. Those are our main people. So, first of all, we're going to start at Zach Lavine. And I'm going to give a little bit of his stats, and then I got to pose a question to his son. So, Zach Lavine last year, he had 25.5 points per game. His last 40 games, he had 28.3 points per game.
Ooh.
He shot 38% on threes, 45% on twos, and 81% from the free throw line. Incredibly efficient player on the offensive end. Son, is Zach Lavine a number one option on a playoff team?
Ooh, is he a number one option on a playoff team? I think the jury's still out. I would say that is incomplete. We don't know. And historically speaking, if you want to look, Zach Lavine's numbers have never contributed to wins. So that's typically what you want to see from your top player, is whether or not they can win games. And so far, Zach hasn't proved it. However, I am also willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and just say that he's been on some lousy teams and some lousy coached teams.
Yes.
Now he's going to have a coach that is more organized, a front office that's more organized, and a team that I think is going to play more organized basketball. So now we'll see if his numbers can possibly translate to wins. I don't know. I mean, I want to say yes, because my eyes tell me that he is, that when you watch him play on the court, that he's just, sorry, that was a doorbell. But yeah, it's just interesting to see whether or not those will translate to wins. I mean, my eyeballs tell me that watching him, he looks like he has the potential to be somebody special. I mean, and he's the veteran on this squad pretty much, and he's 24, 25 years
25
old.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, gosh, I want to say yes, but I'm gonna go incomplete for now. How about you, Tim? What do you think?
I mean, if he was the number one option, son, then we'd be winning regardless of coach. I mean, Derrick Rose had some awful coaches in the beginning of his career, and he still pushed the Bulls to the playoffs or near the playoffs. Zach Lavine, he's an awesome scorer. He's really efficient. Questions remain on his playmaking, man. Can he get others involved? Well, I read a stat that says he only adds 1.2 points per 100 possessions. For example, Trae Young adds 7.1, Devin Booker 3.5, Bradley Beal 5.4. Ooh. Bradley Beal, star on a bad team.
Yeah,
kind of the same deal. I'm encouraged. I mean, 28 points per game over the last however many points. He, like we talked about, 59 out of his 60 games, he had double figures. So it seems like he's been trending up each season, and I'm encouraged also by his defense. 1.5 steals a game last year, 0.5 blocks. He was roasted for his help defense. Seems like he's getting a little better. I think Donovan's going to help him. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he has the playmaking skills in terms of like being able to pass the ball well. He did have 4.2 assists, but he's not going to be the primary ball handler this year. I don't see a Jamal Murray in him. Mm-hmm. I see him more as a let's score, let's get volume scoring. I'd like to see him on a team. Man, I'd like to see him on a team where he could be a number two, like on a playoff team where he could be the number two, where he can take some pressure off that number one, where he can drop in 30, 40 points. He doesn't have to do too much on the defensive end. He doesn't have to make too many plays happen. We know what we're going to get from him. I feel like that's where he would really thrive in an offense where he's going to score, and that's his deal. But I am excited that he's only 25. It's his sixth season, so he does have a lot of room to improve.
He does. I mean, so I think what it sounds like is, I mean, I know that you brought the receipts on Zach Lavine here. It sounds like he's more kind of like what Kevin Love was in Minnesota, more or less like empty calories, just
Yeah,
putting up a lot of great stats, but just does not amount to many wins.
he does show a sense of improvement, which is exciting. But then you got to question, what's it going to look like when Colby White actually gets the same sort of minutes? Because
Hmm.
he also is a volume scorer. So that's lethal in some ways in terms of playing other teams. But how's that going to affect both their numbers, and on defense, that's going to hurt him as well.
Okay, so right away then, so
I don't feel like he's a number one option. I think he's a number two on a playoff team, maybe a number three on a championship team. And if he improves, he could maybe be a number two on a championship team.
well said.